You got the guy in scoring position. You got to do the small things. You got to bunt. You got to hit the. If you can't bunt, hit the ball. At least hit the ball to the right side. Sit yourself in position to hit the ball to the right side to advance that run, and you may be able to get a base hit. You're not really giving yourself up, but at least you want to sacrifice yourself to hit the ball to the right side.
Amen, Jim Rice. Amen. Welcome into Boston has entered the chat on a Tuesday, July 22nd, training camp Eve. That's right, baby. Here inside the Salem 5 studios, Travis Thomas George Balekji, who will be at said training camp.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Well,
Back tomorrow, football.
Listen,
football is in the air.
I need something to pick me up after last night. Because if you were sleeping for the end of the Red Sox game, trust me, go back to sleep now. Because they found a way to historically lose this one. We have not seen a loss like this literally since 1971, man.
Yeah, what's it saying? Like, I wasn't a thought then? My parents didn't know one another existed in 1971. First time since 71, catcher's interference for a walk-off win. But catcher's interference or not, that was the Red Sox. And that was Jordan Hicks, again, in a high-leverage situation.
Again.
When he was acquired, Craig Breslow said he could be a high-leverage reliever.
That's a fact.
That was a guy that we saw walk, wild pitch at advance runners, intentional walk to load the bases. So everyone, all ducks on the pond, and then was up 0-2 in the count. That would have been ball 3. That would have been a full count. Narvaez, I think on the catcher's interference, was cheating a bit, get out in front of the pitch to help out his guy and try to steal a strike. And that's why he was that far. But that ball was outside. The Red Sox, that was a team that, with Jordan Hicks just not stepping up to the moment, catcher's interference or not, would have faltered, I think.
I'm going to give you some numbers, all with sevens involved. So if you're playing the numbers, you're welcome. Sox 0-7 in extra inning games.
Man.
Okay? They have committed 7 catcher's interferences, the most in Major League Baseball. Walker Buehler last night gave you 7 strong innings.
7 strong, 7 elite, dominant innings. That was his best start of the season.
Yes.
And it wasn't even his best by, like, Walker Buehler 2025 standards.
That's right.
It was great for any
Walker
starting
Buehler,
pitcher
yes,
against this Phillies lineup. He outpitched Zach Wheeler. You got 2 runs on Zach Wheeler. You need to get more once the bullpen comes in because he retired after 6 innings pitched. The lineup couldn't pull through late in the game.
Yeah.
And the pitching to close out this game. Chapman was great. Whitlock was great. Yeah. But the pitching at the end in high leverage situations didn't pull through. We saw this team, again, it's amplified where they need adds. Starting pitching, relief pitching, and another veteran bat in this lineup. An experienced bat.
You're seeing it.
Because the tension, the atmosphere of this game, it was like against the Rays series in Fenway.
Yeah.
The atmosphere of this game against the Phillies at night under the lights in Philadelphia.
Playoff intensity.
Exactly. And they need a bat that can pull through in that.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Because we can go through, as Jim was highlighting, their at-bats, when they got to the top of the 10th, 3 up, 3 down, Roman Anthony goes down stringing.
Bregman grounded out. So Duran struck out, Bregman grounded out, Anthony struck out. So
struck
Jim
out on 3 pitches for Roman Anthony.
Jim's saying you have to manufacture that runner on second to third and to home. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree. Jim's been saying this all year. That's not what these teams do nowadays. And I get it because of analytics. Everyone's swinging for the fences, right? I don't even necessarily have a problem with that when you talk exit velo and all this nonsense. What I don't like is, because we've seen the Sox at times this season play small ball, George. Like, they have that gear. I don't understand how come they don't use it more. Like situational baseball. They just don't do it. And everyone blames Cora for it, which I guess someone has to be held responsible, right? I don't necessarily think it's all him, though. Like, I don't know the answer why the hell they're not doing it. I wish I did. I don't, and I wish they would. But that is an example of where you flip that switch and you use that gear, and they don't do it in that spot. Why?
This is also a team, Duran, Bregman, you want them up in those spots. Again, when I talk about amplifying the issues, it's having a 21-year-old rookie that's still green to the Major League game. And Roman Anthony's picked up his bat so much, but hitting third in your lineup. You add a veteran bat. What this would have been pre-Father's Day would have been Duran, Devers, Bregman, 1, 2, 3.
Man.
And those are 3 guys you want up in that situation.
Yeah.
And nothing against Roman Anthony. He deserves a spot in this lineup.
You're
He's been terrific.
him.
No,
Yeah.
he shouldn't be hitting third. That's why they need to add a bat. Someone with experience in the tenacity of those moments knows how to pull through. That's where they need to add. Yes, on top of the little things. Because this is a team that will make dumb mistakes, will play dumb baseball time to time, but find a way to win games. And maybe that's good enough to get them into the postseason in this American League. But in Boston, they have not seen the Red Sox in the playoffs since 2021. And it's not about getting to the playoffs. It's winning series. It's making noise. You want to build a team that can do more than get in, but win when they get in. And this is a team that right now is not showing that level of competency or play.
Sure.
They need veterans in the lineup. They need to add a bat. They need to add relief pitching because right now the structure of this team isn't it. And we said it. We kept saying how good that 10-game win streak was. But it's Cubs, Phillies, Dodgers. They'll face the Astros twice. The Royals in there as well in that mix.
Yeah.
Those are either first-place teams in their division,
or fighting
those
for
are
a
teams
wild card.
in the playoff, fighting for a wild card spot, or teams that'll play them tough.
Sure.
And right now, the Red Sox, they're teetering. Buy, sell at the deadline. It's 9-10 days away. It's next Thursday. What does the front office do? The players have to prove to them, but the front office has to help. And that's where it goes. Stop waiting. Where's the urgency?
You've been saying this.
Because what, you want to wait? You said it yesterday. Let's see after this Philly series. No, I don't need to see after this Philly series.
You've been saying this.
I need to see now. You need someone in there as soon as possible to help with the rotation, to help with the lineup.
You're right. I mean, we're watching it in real time. Can you go get help, Craig Breslow? That's the question. 617-790-0928. Call us. What'd you make of last night's just Heartbreak City loss? We actually got a call, George, just now. Take a listen. Here's a Sox fan reacting to last night's heartbreak.
Well, I did see that Narvaez had 3 errors yesterday and has played probably the worst game of his career for the Boston Red Sox. Well, Walker Buehler, on the other hand, despite the 4th inning, also did very well, probably playing his best. So you had one guy probably doing their worst and one guy probably doing their best. And so I think that more people in the Red Sox did better than worse. So it was definitely a winnable game, but that catcher's interference really was just not the thing that you should have done. And I really do think that the other catcher might come in for the next game.
You want Connor Wong in the next game?
I'm
the
good
guy that has
on
one
that.
RBI on the year?
Yeah, I think I'm good on that.
Carlos Narvaez had those errors, and the catcher interference led to the game-winning run. There was a pass ball that also was magnified in this game and so significant and massive as well. That's also a guy that is top 5 in MLB in defensive runs saved. The leader, Cedane Rafaela. Carlos Narvaez is top 3. And again, I point to that catcher's interference. Pull up the replays. Can't show it here. We're on Nessa Nation. But pull up the replays. Major League, they're dumb rules with broadcasting. But pull up the highlight and you watch him cheat up to try and steal a strike to bail out Jordan Hicks. That was an 0-2 at bat, about to be 3-2 full count.
Trying to help him out.
And who knows what happens when that pressure's on with the bases loaded. That's what led to that catcher's interference. And Carlos Narvaez, after the game, was saying analytics, what we have, scouting reports. He's fallen on the sword for his guy. Credit to him.
Leader.
The issue isn't Carlos Narvaez in that loss. And yes, he was in the big moment, and he didn't play his best game. I'm not taking away or pardoning him of what he had with those errors. But this is a team where it's not on Carlos Narvaez. It's not on Walker Buehler not getting the job done. It's not on Roman Anthony strikeout swinging. Yeah, those are in the big moments of the game. They shouldn't be in those situations because they should have more help. And that's what this team needs.
617-790-0928. Call us. You can also tweet at us using the hashtag NessaChat or email us at chat@nesson.com. We make it to where you can get involved in the show. So come on in. The water's fine. Talk to us about last night. Talk to us about this, too, because I want to pivot to this. It is Christmas in July here. The trade deadline is next week. If we were making wish list for what we want for this Red Sox team, where would it start? I have 3 guys. Spoiler alert, they're all arms. Not to say that I don't want to bat, particularly at first base. I mean, Josh Naylor would be great, but I'm going arms here. Who do you have on your wish list?
My wish list does start with that guy, Josh Naylor.
Yeah,
I mean,
I get it.
He's batting just around 300, has a 125 weighted runs created plus. That's 25 to 30 home run power. A first baseman. Now, it's a left-handed bat, but you know what? You need a veteran bat.
Yeah.
And that's a guy that could slide and hit third in this lineup. And it beefs it up. Your 1 through 3 is stout. Your 4 through 6 is good. And then your 7, 8, 9 has Cedane Rafaela in that mix. And that is a packed lineup that can do well in the postseason. But Josh Naylor, his experience, he's always performed really well for the Cleveland Guardians, what you've seen. He's now in Arizona, and that's a team that's about to sell. You bring him in, he elevates and makes everyone around him better in the lineup. He makes his team better, and he will lead directly to wins.
I like that. That's why I made him an honorable mention, because I'm going all arms here. I'm going Zach Gallen. I'm going to stay right in the desert. Look, he's in a contract year, so that opens up the big discussion, George, of is this a rental, okay? Maybe it is. I don't know. He's not pitching well this season in a contract year. So is there a possibility of some sort of discount at the end of this? Maybe the Sox can get him locked up for long term. He's only 29 years old.
Yeah.
I like that signing for a once ace in this league, but he has struggled this year in a contract year. I just wonder if, because the Diamondbacks are selling off pieces and because maybe he just needs a change of scenery, quite frankly.
Yeah.
The Red Sox, I would think it'd be worth the rental, even if it is a rental, even if he's just here for a playoff push and then gone tomorrow. Fine. You need a number 2 starter, a true bona fide one. This is that guy when he's right. I don't know what's going on with him other than I think it's a contract year and he's pressing. That's what I see when I watch him pitch.
Yeah.
He is pressing. He's trying to do too damn much to get paid, and his team's not great. So I would be willing to roll the dice there for possibly a rental, but I would also maybe be trying to work something out with getting him signed. Zach Gallen's who I want on my wish list.
What I love the Red Sox, what they could do is a simple trade, right? Because we're like, all right, get this pitcher from here, get this bat from here. You can do a 1-for-1, one team to one team, Red Sox and Diamondbacks. You put a package together that will need to have prospects in it.
Yeah.
You could get Josh Naylor and Zach Gallen.
In one trade?
And Zach, yes. And
Lord
Zach
have
Gallen
mercy.
drops into that rotation, can be your 3-4 starter. Now, they want that elite number 2, but okay, do you believe in Brian Bayo? Do you believe in Lucas Giolito? And then Zach Gallen's a guy that could give you postseason starts. Is a vet, been in this league for a while, is 29, 30 years old.
In a World
and you're
Series.
right, yeah, he's taken a step back, but if you could get him back to around a 3 ERA pitcher, you get Andrew Bailey's hands on him, he figures out his curveball, he figures out his off-speed stuff, then that's a guy that could really take a step forward.
Bro.
That elevates, everything is elevating this team. And they're a piece away in the rotation, a piece away in the lineup, a piece away in the bullpen. It's nothing crazy. It's just simple ads.
If they got Gallen and Naylor in the same move, I will show up to Boston Has Entered the Chat in a Santa suit. I don't give a damn how
It's
high.
under your desk. You don't have to show up.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I'll put it on. All right? It's July. It's hot as hell outside. I will wear a Santa.
It'd feel like Christmas.
Yes. If you get both in one trade, are you kidding?
And here's the thing. It's when you look at last night where Walker Buehler had a gem of a start.
Yes, he did.
Great for anybody, not just his standards. But then you see that a rookie in a really big spot, Roman Anthony, goes down swinging, and Carlos Narvaez, Jordan Hicks, all those guys, like, not stepping up. That should be enough for the front office to go, look, we're not there yet. We need to act.
They are close.
While they still are in a playoff spot.
They are close. I mean, we do need to talk about that. Like, obviously, the Ward Pig saved you and Bregman against the Cubs, but you did salvage that series. And then last night, you should have won that game. These are the top teams in the NL, my friend, not named the Dodgers, who, oh, by the way, will be here this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So you are seeing the Sox aren't there, but they're not far off. So to your point, go get help. Who else is on your wish list?
I have Taylor Ward and Mitch Keller on my list.
I like both.
Mitch Keller's a starting pitcher. Again, if you can't get a Zach Gallen, but he falls under the same umbrella.
I like both.
Could be your 4th starter, could give you postseason starts. He's having a career best year, sub 3.5 ERA. He, his main pitch is a 4-seamer, sweeper, slider. Andrew Bailey loves a profile of pitchers. And being with the Pittsburgh Pirates, that's a team that's selling. So I don't think you would have to give up as much to get a Mitch Keller as you would for, say, a Zach Gallen. And again, that's a starting pitching arm. As for Taylor Ward, that's just a power righty bat. Where he falls in the lineup, where the log jam is in the outfield, there'd have to be moves made to make space for him. But I think that'd be a move after a move is getting a Taylor Ward. Those are the guys I want. Who else do you have?
You always love the move before the move.
You gotta do multiple moves, man.
You do a lot of moves. You're a chess player. I like Sandy Alcantara. I know you're going to roll your eyes down in South Beach, but I will say this. He hasn't been the same since a few years ago he was untouchable.
Yep.
But, like, he had Tommy John. His team sucks. I'm not making excuses, but there are reasons that he's not the same guy. Much like I said with Gallen, I wonder if a change of scenery would help him. And, again, I'm just looking for the arms here. I'll figure it out when they show up. So that's a guy I'm willing to roll the dice for. He's only 29 as well. I brought that up with Zach Gallen. Same with him. Here's an old man River that I would also roll the dice on. Seth Lugo. Now, it's twofold here. I think he's 35, 36 years old, okay? He's in a contract year. This is a rental, definitively. I'm not signing him to any long-term anything at that age and the mileage. But although he struggled a bit this year, he's starting to turn it around right now.
Yeah.
So I would want to get involved with that. The other thing, strategically, you're kind of keeping him away from a team competing for a wild card.
Yeah.
Like some of this stuff, sometimes you got to play defense. The Sox likely are going to be a wild card team. Royals still trying to figure it out and get in the wild card. get his butt off of them to you because he can help. He's also someone, starter, bullpen, he's done it all in his long, illustrious career. So as long as the sort of personality or the mentality isn't Rafael Devers here, as long as he's not like that, and he comes in and says, I'll do whatever, I just want to win, he could start, he could come out of the bullpen, he could do anything. That's an arm that you could have veteran presence, and you keep them on a team competing against you.
Yeah, I like Alcantara would be a reclamation project. Seth Lugo can get the job done. That's a veteran.
Right now.
Right?
Yes.
That's where these aren't the perfect matches, but also what makes sense at what price to add to a deadline. That's the route they have to go with all of this. So that's where I see that. We'll talk about it later, but there are the new reports from Jesse Rogers of ESPN. The Red Sox right now are looking, hey, we had that 10-game win streak.
Yeah.
We like having the depth in the outfield.
We don't need anything.
We need to be blown away by an offer. That 10-game win streak, and it was the key part of it was how they performed against the Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays have lost 10 of their last 14 games.
Yes.
It's not in a vacuum, that win streak. The Nats and the Rockies are the two worst teams in baseball. The Nats, that's a team that's tanking. The Rockies,
they're awful.
I don't know what that team is.
They are awful.
I don't know what that ownership is. That's not a baseball team.
They're
I'm not
awful.
even saying major league.
Yes.
And that's what your 10-game win streak is. You saw the glimpses and the flashes of the guys that are good, right? Mm-hmm. But we've also seen the flashes of where there are liabilities throughout this team. And the Red Sox are in a good position where they can correct those mistakes and miscues.
We told you to call us 617-790-0928. I mean, you listened in kind. The calls are rolling in already, George. Let's get to another one here. Red Sox fan, take a listen.
Hello. Yeah, the Narvaez catcher interference, I guess it lost the game at that point, but come on, man. Jordan Hicks, the control, he threw behind one of the batters, for Christ's sakes. And, the bases were loaded with no outs. Come on. They were probably going to win the game anyways. But, we had so many chances to get people in. We had, people in scoring position pretty much almost every inning. And we out-hit them again, 8 hits to 7. And it's just, it seems like we're back to the before the All-Star break where we can't get a RBI. We can't get anybody home. So, Narvaez wasn't to blame for that game.
Yeah, that's where, and he points out to Jordan Hicks on that too.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a single swing in any at-bat. There was one bat fouled off in that last at-bat, but there wasn't a single swing against Jordan Hicks.
Control.
Walks a batter, like you said, the one that goes behind him too, that wild pitch advances it 2. There's the intentional walk. It was an 0-2 count, goes up 3-2, and that was exactly it, with no outs. 100% agree with the caller there. That was a thing, and that's why again, everyone's going first time since 71, and Carlos Narvaez, credit to him for taking the blame and falling on the sword there. But Jordan Hicks did not have it last night. No. And that's a guy you're putting out in the 10th against a really good Phillies lineup as well. And again, when they traded for him and Craig Breslow and other availabilities he's made beyond the Rafael Devers trade, was like Jordan Hicks is that high leverage relief pitcher. Okay, that's your role.
That was high leverage. Last night was high leverage.
You go out and get an Emmanuel Clase. That's a high leverage relief pitcher. You go out and get other guys around the league. They could be high leverage relief pitchers. If he's a bullpen arm, that's fine because you don't have to add a setup guy. Yeah. Go get a high leverage. Jordan Hicks is your 7th, 8th inning guy, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
That's where you can add. But yeah, that game last night, everyone's talking about Carlos Narvaez. Everyone's going, how do you do catcher's interference?
Sure.
I give credit to him, man. That guy's a leader. He's fallen on the sword for his pitcher. He was trying to help him. He's really lunging out there with his glove. That was a ball on the outside. It was about to be a 3-2 count. He's really trying to cheat and get some good framing, hoping that it could be a called strike 3.
It was the right call. I still hate that the game ended on that. I hate when any game.
It was a catcher's interference.
It was what it was. It was what it was. 617-790-0928. Call us. Tell us what you think of the Sox. Are you heartbroken like we are? By the way, still to come here on Boston has entered the chat. George will be at training camp tomorrow for the Patriots. But for today, he's here with me, which means when we come back, we're gambling heavily on the Patriots. Roll with us. We'll be right back.
10 pitches, 1 swing last night for Jordan Hicks.
Get the latest up-to-date live. We've got Boston sports headlines along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every weekday right here on Boston has entered the chat. Catch us at 8 a.m. on Nesson and 9 a.m. on Nesson Nation. Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. Now it's what George and I do best. Gamble heavily on football.
At 9:21 in the morning. I had to double check the time there. It's the best
We
part
don't
of it
even
all.
have bagels yet, and we are gambling.
I got my coffee. That's all I need.
All right, let's do this. Patriots camp starts tomorrow. You will be there, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
But before we talk that, we talk about Drake May's press conference and how he looked and all the stretching that they do on day one of training camp these days. Don't get me started. Let's talk about gambling on player props as it pertains to the Patriots. If you were to bet on any or all the players on this team, who would you bet and why?
So I'm going to start with no one knew they brought in, someone that's quietly been a consistent pro since he arrived here, and someone that has experience in this Josh McDaniels offense back in 2021.
Can I guess this?
Yeah.
Okay. You said not new,
Not new, has been here,
quietly productive,
and consistent.
running back,
No. Tight end,
tight end,
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry.
4.5 receiving touchdowns. I'm going to take the over. He only had 2 last year. You go back to 2021 with Mac Jones as a rookie in this Josh McDaniels offense. He had 9 touchdown receptions. But it's not what he did in 2021 because this is 4 years later, 5 years later in 2025. It is the rapport that he's built with Drake May. He's been that guy for him. He was the only good, consistent pass catcher they had last year in the offense. And whenever he was bracketed, he'd disappear from the game plan. But this is a guy that is a walking, talking, 75 targets, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. I should need him to get 5. I'll take it, and it's plus 110. I think because of the addition of Stephon Diggs, Matt Collins, now with Kendrick Bourne back in the fold, Demario Douglas, Jalen Polk can take a jump, Travion, there's a lot of mouths to feed when they get in the red zone. That's why you get at plus money. But this is a guy that Drake May loves to throw the ball to. This is a guy that's been good in the red zone, knows this system, and he has that trust from his second-year QB. I'm going Hunter Henry. Why are you giving me that look, man?
I'm just thinking about, like, we're gambling here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's
You
just
want to
and
have
I.
fun, like...
It's just us talking, right?
Yeah. What's up?
I mean, you just look around this league.
Yep.
You're betting on Jamar Chase,
Yep.
Justin Jefferson,
Uh-huh.
the Cheetah. You
Jahmyr
don't even call him by
Gibbs.
his government name. No one says Tyreek Hill. They say the Cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Bowers at tight end. Like, all these big-name stars. We're sitting here on the eve of training camp.
Yep.
Betting Hunter Henry.
Yep.
What choice do we have, man?
That's all we
Ain't
got.
No weapons.
That's all we
There are
got to
no
make it fun.
I know. It bothers me. It just bothers me. You're sitting here. It was beautiful what you said, but in the end, I'm just like, this is Hunter Henry we're talking about. This is how bad things have got. You got to pick up the phone and get Terry McLaurin here. You got to do it.
Okay.
You know, I know people down there.
Yep.
George, they're saying they are miles apart.
You think the Commanders are that dumb in new ownership with a former 49er, former Bronco
Can I
lead in the
answer
front
you?
office?
Can I answer you?
In their window?
They're being dumb because
Yeah.
he should already be under contract.
Yes.
So if we've got this far with Terry McLaurin,
Yeah.
and you're miles apart, as I'm being told,
Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of being dumb. I'm not saying they are dumb, but my wife will tell you I ain't dumb, but I am dumb sometimes. That's what they're doing.
I feel
he should
that
already
all
be
the
under
way.
contract.
Yes.
Anyways.
Trust me, I'd rather be betting on Terry McLaurin, but we
I
got to
know.
bet on the guys that got on offense.
I'm with you. I like the Hunter Henry bet. I just hate we're betting on Hunter Henry. Okay. I'm going Drake May. Now, I looked at passing yards. I looked at interceptions. I considered going over there. Instead, I'm going to go over on passing touchdowns with him. The number's set at 20.5, okay? Minus 115. I'm going to make this bet. I do have some concerns of when you get in the red zone, in a Josh McDaniels offense, i.e. a grown-up offense, and not whatever last season was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think we could see Drake May on the run. Now, it could be RPO. He could be throwing on the run, but he also is athletic enough to take some of these touchdowns passing away from me and score him on his feet. That worries me a little. But I'm still going to go over 20.5 passing touchdowns with him because I just have to believe Hunter Henry, your boy. We can get to Stephon Diggs here.
Travion Henderson could catch the
I
ball.
love
He could run
Travion
routes.
Henderson. Look,
Matt Collins.
should be, I'm using air quotes, should be an improved offensive line.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Drake May over 20.5 passing touchdowns.
I like that, and where I think he'll go is he'll exceed that. I mean, he'll get 25 this year. He had 15.
25?
He'll have 25 passing touchdowns. He had 15 last year in 11 and a half games played. Remember, knocked out of the Jets game and also played late in the Jets game, but I'm talking on his starts. But this is someone that should exceed that because as I mapped out why Hunter Henry will thrive, they get in the red zone. Watch Will Howard at Ohio State under Chip Kelly's guidance. Josh McDaniels spent the offseason learning football.
It's RPOs.
He wasn't just sitting out there fishing and being away from the game. He was tapping into offensive minds in the college game.
Yeah.
And with similar skill sets to Drake May. Drake May is much better than
Way
Will Howard.
better.
But when they get in the red area, when they get in the gold area, that is, we'll see sprint outs,
Those are
RPOs, read options,
Yeah.
play action. They're going to run the ball to sets it up. He's going to set up Drake May for success.
So, well, this is what worries me, kind of.
Yeah.
You said you see 25 passing touchdowns. I can see a world where it's 20 passing. I don't hit this damn bet, and then he runs for 5. That's kind of my point.
I think he's their best player on offense.
Yeah.
They're going to tap into that.
Yeah.
And I think he gets 25 to 30 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
I really do.
I hope so.
I think this is a good bet. I'm going on those coattails, too, and this is how we'll see it. I'm also going Stephon Diggs over 4.5 receiving touchdowns.
I was wondering who was going to bet him first.
The last time he hasn't had 4 or more receiving touchdowns in a full season was his rookie year. Last year he had 3. Towards ACL in October, he only played 8 games.
Yeah.
But that's the last time he didn't have 5 or more receiving touchdowns.
All right.
He is the best wide receiver on this offense. He's a full participant to start training camp. He will be the wide receiver 1. He's a guy that's smart, creates separation, knows how to make space, and will build a trust with his quarterback. And he's leaps and bounds better than any receiver they have. It's not saying a ton. They got pros. They got good guys. And Stephon Diggs could be really good. I'm not going to say great. I'm not going to say elite. He could be really good this year. And that's what I'm going to bet on.
I hate that I want to bet Stephon Diggs with you. I'm going to plug my nose as I bet this.
Okay.
I hear you on the touchdowns. I'll raise you one. I'll go over 68.5 receptions.
I think it's a smart bet.
I don't trust the yards set at 725, so it's not like a high number.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd stay away from the
You could talk
yardage.
me into maybe betting over there, but I don't want to go there. I hear you on touchdowns, but I know, for better or worse, he will be targeted heavily in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May is going to feed a Stephon Diggs. If he stays healthy, I love over 68.5 receptions.
Yeah.
You just know it's going to happen. So I'll go Stephon Diggs over 68.5 receptions. I have some worries of health. All my issues with him are health related and possibly off the field related. Now, you got to throw that in unless he's single. We don't know, okay? But I'm throwing that in. But in terms of if he can stay healthy, this is the most comfortable Stephon Diggs bet, I feel.
Yeah.
Even more than touchdowns.
Yeah.
I respect where you're going. But receptions, I think, is where we'll go here. And I like the Hunter Henry, too, for the same reason. I'm with you on that. I could see Drake May sort of locking into those two guys, tight end down the middle, Diggs on the outside, and feeding them in terms of reception.
You know what it is, doing the quick math myself? You
For what,
literally
Diggs?
need 4.5 catches a game.
Diggs?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
And that's 68 on the nose.
Oh,
Vegas, four catches a game is 68 on the nose. 4.5 gets you to 76, 80.
Vegas.
He's going to have his 4-catch games. He's going to have his 7-catch games.
Yes.
It'll regress to the means. But yes, they know the
They know.
number. But I would take the receptions over the yardage, especially at his age, how his game has changed. He's more of an underneath slot receiver, short yardage. Doesn't create as much after the catch, but I'll take the receptions. Sticking with the passing game, what I love about this, it's all passing game. Sticking with the passing game for me, I'll go Drake May over on his interceptions, 12.5. He had 10 last year,
more.
11.5 games. He's going to be more challenged in this scheme. He's going to get pushed. And with a head coach, Mike Vrabel, that leads through failure, hey, go take those risks. Go learn on the field. Josh McDaniels, too. I think he'll make mistakes. And you know what? I'll live with Drake May having 13 interceptions because I think he could end up having 25, 30 total touchdowns. And this team, because of the defense, still wins 9-10 games.
I want to get some stars in here because I'm tired of talking about these putrid weapons that the Patriots have. I just wrote down my favorite, anytime touchdown bets from over the past few years. This is how sick I am.
Oh, my God.
Derrick Henry, I was betting every week till the price got crazy. Travis Kelce, I was betting any week. Christian McCaffrey, I was betting any week. Jalen Hurts. These were anytime touchdowns, like clockwork. Every Sunday I would bet these.
Yeah.
Now the prices are insane.
Yes.
Okay? But once upon a time, you could get all those at good prices, George. I just wanted to reminisce because I'm done. Oh, would you look at that? I've reached the quota for talking Hunter Henry. I don't want to bet on Hunter Henry ever in my life. Ever. Did I clear that
I think
up?
it'll make you money, though. Plus 110.
I don't hate it.
At least I'm giving you a dog.
You are.
You know, there's some there's no juice on it. You bet $100, you
I
get
know.
110 back.
It's not you. It's him.
Yeah.
It's Hunter Henry.
It's not us. It's Elliot Wolf. It's really Mike Vrabel.
It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno. I don't know. It felt right.
That's good late at night. I've had DiGiorno.
Yeah, me too. I'm not
crust.
too good for it. Hey, you know what? More Boston has entered the chat next. We should throw an egg on it because that's like technically breakfast. What?
Oh yeah, breakfast
Pizza?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, have you ever
Just
had
stay with us, would you?
a plain slice of pizza, cold, fresh out of the fridge?
Yes.
Breakfast of champions.
Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. Time now to see what's trending in the world of sports and your group chats. We always say we're all up in your business, so let's talk about it. Did you see this? Stephon Diggs has been officially cleared. He is ready to rock and roll. Full participation at training camp. This according to Diana Rossini. George, you'll be there tomorrow. Stephon Diggs will too, brah.
And this is the one to watch. I mean, the second half of her tweet is the significant one. Full participant. The Patriots will monitor his reps early on. He's looked strong in his return after tearing his ACL. This will be 269 days since tearing his ACL last October, playing for the Houston Texans, where he was on a tear for another terrific season again. I mean, we could go back to the Patriots matchup with Houston. First drive of the game for that Texans offense, Stephon Diggs torched the secondary all the way down the field on his way to scoring. This is a guy that can still play at a really good level, can create separation. What's big is him being a full participant is that he will be in all the drills. He'll be in 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, as long as they're cool with what they're seeing from his reps. But this is a guy that needs as many reps in a team setting, in 11-on-11, in padded settings with Drake May as much as possible. They need him ready ASAP to make an impact on the season, and they need him around those receivers. So it's not just he's in positional drills mentoring the rookies. He's also in 11-on-11s and team settings. Again, mentoring the rookies, giving them advice, showing them by example, not standing off to the sideline. And this is a guy that needs to get his body ready to get back in the season. This is huge for the offense because end of the day, we can compete, and I will continue to complain and say they need to add to this receiving room. He is their best wide receiver. And the fact he's a full participant right as training camp kicks off is massive for this offense and Drake May taking a step forward in his development.
Okay, I agree with everything. Comma. The Patriots have to do a really good job of protecting him against himself now.
Yeah.
How many times in our career have we covered camp in a similar situation? Players' names are relevant. Player X comes off of an injury, and they're all in, right? We're all in for week one. There's some dumb slogan, right? Pressure makes diamonds and all this BS. They're coming back from injury, and then they're looking good at camp, and then they go down. Whether in camp or in the preseason. And you don't even make it to the regular season because they wanted to prove how healthy they were. And the team just let him, he looks great. He's fine. It's a miracle. And then they go out and blow a gasket, okay? So I'm looking at this as everything you just said is true. That's why I said comma. You have to have this guy at this point. Unless you go trade for Terry McLaurin, which is another topic for another chat, and I would love to have it. This is your guy, okay? So you have to protect that investment. You've paid him like the number one. You've treated him like the number one. You just said he is the number one talent-wise in your putrid wide receiver room. Okay, he's older. There's a lot of mileage, and he's coming off a major injury. Great. He did a great job in rehab. He does look fresh and ready to rock and roll. Protect him from himself.
Yeah.
He needs to be ready, not only for week one, George, but beyond. This football season nowadays, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm looking at the Patriots now. You have to protect Stephon Diggs against himself. All right, more football news. This one is drama all over it. Micah Parsons has reported to Cowboys camp in spite of this from his owner, Jera.
Just because we signed him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does.
I cannot believe that man exists. Like, Jerry, shut the F up and put your foot in your effing mouth, dude. Yeah, so even though we pay Micah, it doesn't mean he'll be available. And you want me to point to an example? Well, the quarterback I gave $231 million guaranteed to We paid him, and he was out 2/3 of the year. Dak's over there, like, rehabbing his ankle, his foot, his
Working
arm,
hard.
his everything. He's like, Jerry, what the F, dude? Why you got to throw that on me, bro? Where you could have all your criticism about Dak Prescott on the big stage. That guy is a effing warrior. And he went from a 4th-round pick to getting $231 million guaranteed. He has been a warrior for the Cowboys. And then you got Jerry, where they have training camp in California, and it's hot there by all means, wearing 3 layers, talking bad about the best defensive player in football and his franchise quarterback. Old man, take off that shirt, take off the shirt under that, take off the polo,
Why does he have so
put
many
on
layers
something
on?
breathable, drink some water, and stop talking in front of the mic. That guy is a moron. Successfully, business-wise, moron.
It's a lot of rich
Very
morons.
successful. Yeah.
I know, it's a lot of rich morons.
There are a lot of successful
Also,
idiots.
the math-
But dude, shut up. Shut up, Jerry.
Also,
oh my
the
God.
math isn't mathing. He said Micah missed 6 games. No, he didn't. He missed 4 games. Like,
Even better.
He's available. Micah, let's not act like Micah Parsons is injury prone. He's not.
He plays through it too.
Just say you don't want to pay him. Just don't pay him. But here's the thing. Trade him. Because what you can't do, and watching that clip of Jera, I don't think the elevator has stopped somewhere in the middle floors. It ain't going to the top. But I'm saying this.
Yeah.
What you can't do is let Micah Parsons, that generational talent, walk out of your life.
Okay.
And you don't get anything back.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to pay him, which, fine, this is business. And you got all that money wrapped up in Dak and CD. I get it. But, hey, you better trade Micah and get 3 first-round picks or something, 2 first-round fours, something. What you can't do is just let Micah Parsons go get paid by, and we know the teams. It'll be someone dumb, won't it? Raiders, Jets. Some idiot will pay him. Fine. But if you're the Cowboys and that guy just walks out of your building, you lost. Jerry, watching that clip and hearing you break this down, Jerry's son needs to run the show. He's doing a good job. Is it Steven?
Yeah.
Let him. Jerry, you got to go sit down somewhere, bro.
It's the guys. Look, Will McClay does such a good job developing that team and drafting them. It's the people under him that make these draft picks. Like when the
doing a good
Cowboys,
job.
when the Cowboys pick in the top 20, they hit. But that's not Jerry Jones. Those are the people that work for him, the football people.
Yes.
This guy just wants to be the show, and that's fine. But this is what's going to happen. He's going to say this about Micah. He's throwing a stray at Dak. We're going to talk about trading him.
Yeah.
They're going to end up paying Micah 4 years, $180 million, $45 million a year. They're going to give him $130 fully guaranteed. He'll be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league because that's what they do. He drags it out. He doesn't pay.
And then he pays him.
talks. He did the same thing with CD Lamb.
He did.
He just talks bad about the player, and then he overpays. Should have paid him last season.
Yes.
What we just saw happen with the New York Jets did. I'm crediting the New York Jets ahead of the market with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And they save money because they're giving them more guaranteed before they're really eligible for it.
Sure.
That's what the Cowboys should have done. He's cheap. He never signs anyone in free agency. They draft well. He poo-poos all over that player. He complains in the media, oh, Christ poor. Look at me. I got all my oil, but I don't want to give these players no money. And then he gives them so much guaranteed stuff. Shut up, old man. Shut up. Let's go.
I almost don't even want to do the next story. I just want to hear Jerry talk again. Phillip Rivers, speaking of old men, Phillip Rivers officially retires a LA Charger. First of all, Phillip Rivers was available? Like, I'll be damned. I had no idea Phillip Rivers was still out there for anybody. And also, shame on you, Browns, because he's better than any quarterback you have on your roster in the last 5 years.
Is he better than Flacco?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
5 years removed from football?
Yes.
This is hilarious. He hasn't played since 2020. Long career.
Great career.
Yeah.
He had a great career. He didn't win. He didn't win.
Didn't win it.
He didn't win, but it wasn't his fault.
Hall of Very Good.
Yes.
Hall of Very Good. 420 passing touchdowns in his career.
Hall of Famer.
I don't know. He played a long time.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
He's good in the playoffs.
Let's get people involved. 617-790-0928. Do you think Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer? I think this is a fair, debatable topic. I do. I think a lot of these quarterbacks from this era, even though he's older, the numbers are so inflated. I get he didn't get a Super Bowl. Neither did Dan Marino, for God's sakes. There's a lot of quarterbacks who didn't get Super Bowls who are in the Hall of Fame. I think Phillip Rivers will get in. First ballot, I don't know. I think eventually Phillip Rivers gets in.
He's 6th all time in passing
Yeah,
touchdowns.
bro. That's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, just a long career.
Well,
I think he was good. He was good at the
you're
position.
jaded by he doesn't have a ring, and I get it.
6th all-time in passing yards. He's going to go in the
He's
Hall of
going to
Fame.
get in.
He's going to go in the Hall of Fame.
He's going to get in.
He never won anything of significance. He was good. Those teams were good. Marty Schottenheimer always became a pumpkin as a head coach in the postseason who he played under.
Yeah.
He stuck it out at San Diego. He enters that realm like and again, I think if he came in now, eventually he would have switched teams, right?
Yes.
In free agency, pushed his way
He
through a
did
trade.
eventually, but he was old.
Yeah, but he's stuck with San Diego. He's stuck by the Chargers, even when they went to LA.
Yes.
They would come up short. They would be good in the AFC, good in the regular season, fall short in the postseason. His numbers were still fine in the playoffs as well.
Yes.
But there was that. Oh, he was overly loyal to a fault in a way with his franchise, and credit to him. 6th all-time in passing touchdowns, 6th all-time in passing yards. Yeah, he'll go in the Hall of Fame.
I remember him in college. He should be in the College Hall of Fame, too, as good as he was at NC State.
A guy I would like to see stretch it out would be Matt Stafford, because he should pass Rivers, but I think it's his last year or two in football.
He needs another ring, and he might get it. By the way,
He does that. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer
He's a Hall
already.
of Famer
Stafford.
anyways.
He gets another ring. He's a top 10 quarterback.
Yes, he elevates
right
his
now. He's like
legacy.
top 25. Gets a second ring. Top 10.
By the
all
way,
time.
I'm not sure if any of these guys got a ring at all. Gates, Rivers, and LT all in the same team.
no, none of them.
None of them got one.
Gates, one of the best tight ends. LT, one of the best running backs. The fact that the Chargers had all three of them and they couldn't win.
It's hard out here.
Damn that franchise.
Damn Tom Brady.
Yeah,
They
that's
played
it.
in the Brady era.
Brady, Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning. He was also in that era
That's right.
of the AFC as well.
Man.
So Brady, yes. I mean, they beat him in 07 before
Yes.
they lost to the Giants.
That's right.
But it's Manning, it's Roethlisberger, it's a lot of great AFC quarterbacks.
It was. All right, hey, when we come back here on Boston Has Entered the Chat, it's been an embarrassment of riches in the outfield for the Red Sox. Is that about to change, though? We'll talk about it next. Roll with us right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Welcome back to Boston Has Entered the Chat. Travis Thomas, George Balekji. Here's the best part of our show. Ready? George, can I ask you a question?
What up?
What are the Red Sox doing with their outfield? Watch this.
I don't know. Because we've had constant reports coming out, and we know what they have. They have depth. It's Jarren Duran in left, Ceddanne Raphael in center, Willie Abreu in right.
Yes.
But enter Roman Anthony, who can play left field or DH. Enter Masataka Yoshida, who can DH, but you haven't placed some outfield to make it work with the lineup. They have versatility throughout their defensive alignment.
Yes.
So Jim Bowden of The Athletic, who's plugged in with the league, he reported yesterday the Red Sox have been discussing trading Jarren Duran with several teams, not because they necessarily want to trade him, but because they like the outfield of Willie Abreu, Ceddanne Rafaela in center, and then Roman Anthony in left. If the Red Sox trade him, it'll be for a starting pitcher and perhaps a first baseman if they can find the right deal.
Okay.
The Arizona Diamondbacks have Zach Gallen and Josh Naylor on their
Two of
roster.
them. I'll take both.
Simple, one-team trade. We don't need multiple deals going down. But then Jesse Rogers of ESPN put out this morning, with the Red Sox holding an American League wildcard spot, the front office is likely to add pitching, according to sources familiar with the situation. Nice.
All right.
While retaining the abundance of outfielders, unless a club is blown away with an offer in the next 10 days.
Well,
why do you have to be
somebody's
blown
lying.
away by an offer? Why do you need to be blown away? Why do you have to hold on to the abundance? And now, this is a little, murky. The abundance of outfielders, technically, Masataka Yoshida is an outfielder. He's a DH, though.
He's a DH.
But when you see that, and when you're going to talk about abundance of outfielders, that is Willie Abreu or Jarren Duran in the conversation. Willie Abreu has 20 home runs on the year.
I can't get rid
He's
of
been
him.
their leader at the dish. He's been really sound. He's a Gold Glove quality right fielder.
You got to take him out of the
Jarren Duran,
conversation.
we've seen defensive lapses. He is their leadoff hitter, but he's been inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's a player that other teams have been calling about. If you get a starting pitcher in return, if you can get a positional player and a bat that you need in return, like a Josh Naylor, someone that's performed big in the postseason, someone that has called Garrett Cole his little effing baby. That's Josh Naylor, and I quote what he said on a diamond.
He needs to be a Red Sox.
Exactly. That's what I say. But Jesse Rogers went on to report, having a surplus of good players isn't a bad thing. That's according to assistant GM Paul Taboni. The high in depth is a really good thing. It's not like we're anxious to move away from that. So as a Red Sox team that's in the playoff spot, that has all this talent, but as we open up the show, they need another quality arm in the rotation. They need a bullpen arm because Jordan Hicks, unless he gets his location down and his control, I don't know what happens there. And they need to get another bat, especially at first base in this lineup.
If possible.
But now they're saying they're not going to move their major league level players. Okay, so are you going to part with prospects? Is that Peyton Tolley, who's a really good left-handed pitcher? Is that Luis Perales?
And you're not going to get
Is that the
Gallen
password?
And some of these guys.
Exactly. And they need to add, and you want to see this team buy because they haven't been in the postseason since 2021. To round out Rogers' reporting, as the calendar inches towards August, that's a sentiment throughout the clubhouse where the veterans who have been through the uncertainty of trades seasons are relieved to spend the next 2 weeks without trade chatter. I think that's more pointed at. And Aroldis Chapman, who's a rental, but they're going to hold on to him because they are right there. What I don't want to see is this team look back at that 10-game win streak and go, we're good. Look, we have the guys, 10-game win streak. We can make it happen. That was against the Nationals and the Rockies. They played terrific against the Rays. That was tight, playoff-type baseball.
The Rays
but what
were
have we seen the last 4 games? They were. What have we seen the last 4 games against first-place teams in their division?
Yeah.
3 losses, just 1 win.
Also, I agree with you about the Rays because we put a lot of stock in that series, but it should be noted the Rays have not won since. Okay, so like the bottom's falling out there.
Yeah.
So you could even now take away, we do this a lot in college football. You beat a really great team, and then later in the season you find out, well, actually, that was a crappy LSU team this year, whatever. It's kind of what the Rays are right now. I hear you. As you were talking, I was just writing down names of who I would quite literally hang the phone up for if you called for, okay? Mm-hmm. You add to this list. I put Roman Empire, I put Breggy, I put War Pig, Marcelo, Chapman, Abreu, the way he's hitting right now. I'm not taking any phone calls.
No.
Narvaez.
No.
Am I missing anyone?
Jaron Duran, I would take a call on.
No. I'm hanging up.
Abraham Toro, I would take a call on. Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, Cedane Rafael, add him to that list. He's the best center fielder in baseball.
All right.
And that guy's been great at the end of your lineup.
Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Rafaela, Roman, Breggy, War Pig, Marcelo, Chapman, Abreu, Narvaez. Yeah. Everyone else, I'll take a phone call.
Even Trevor Story, who is a leader, but Bregman's a leader that steps up, and Trevor Story's been really good with his bat. But what do you have with Marcelo Meyer? He could play short. Okay, what do you do at second?
I liked him at third, too.
The one thing, he looked terrific at third.
He looked great at
third. The wrench in this is you wish Christian Campbell was playing and hitting at a major league level because he could be at second if you want him there, or he could be your first baseman. But let's say he's playing second, then Marcelo Meyer's your shortstop, and you could trade Trevor Story. But that's tough with that contract.
Yeah.
But that's with this team on why you want to see them buy. You know what? You can't move Trevor Story, and that's fine. Hold on to him. He's really good. He's a leader. He's a vet. And he's an amazing glove in the middle infield. But you need to add, and that's where you can move a Jaron Duran. That's where you can move guys like that, like a Masataka Yoshida. That's where you can make that happen. And maybe you bundle in an Abraham Toro, who's a good first baseman, but we've seen his bat cool off, the mistakes on the base path as well. This is a team that we saw that 10-game win streak. We saw glimpses of their potential and that ceiling, but they're not hitting it every day. Why would I come on here when they'd be winning series? They won 3-4 in a row, and I go, look, man, I just need to see it more consistent, and then they dip back down and they go into a lull. This team doesn't consistently play good baseball, and they need to add players, a bat and a pitcher. We could go with 2 arms to get them to consistently play good baseball.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's why last night was maddening in every way, because that's one you should have won. Mm-hmm. And that's one that got away from you, and it shouldn't have. The other thing I'll mention, because you brought up Duran. Duran seems like the name with the most juice behind it, that other teams are interested in. I don't know. I'm not in the baseball circles enough to know if Yoshida's getting that kind of attention, but it doesn't seem like it. Duran, I noticed, though, is getting a lot of attention from contenders, too. And hell, if anything, I'll go back to last night, too, because the Phillies have been linked to being interested in him, and you saw what he did against the Phillies last night. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something there. We hear the Padres, since even going back to last year, when it comes to Duran and flirting with, and we like him, whatever. He seems like the one you can get the most in return for. But again, I question, it's not so much I don't want to move off of any outfielder, right? I don't want to make it positional here. I just see something with Duran where he brings something to your team, to your cohesion, that worries me in terms of losing that. I think there's something with him and this team and the chemistry. Maybe it's chemistry is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That just works. And I'm afraid, as much as you need a second starter, I agree with you. Who the hell doesn't? A bat, preferably at first base, but you and I have both conceded, we'll take wherever. You just need a bat, okay? Yeah. But let's, for the sake of conversation, say first base. All these things are needs, and I get it. But again, what are you losing with Durant outside of the production on the field, I think you're losing something that you can't quantify. That worries me a bit. But as you run through the outfielders, I don't know. I definitely don't believe, who was it that said you're not moving anyone? Was it Bowden? I don't believe, or Bowden? I don't believe that for a second. I think one of these guys, if not more than one, are going to go. It is a log jam. It's a log jam.
I just don't know why they would put out that smoke that they wouldn't move with one of the guys unless they're trying to drive the price up on Durant.
Yes, of course.
And again, that's what he says at the end. If they're blown away by a deal, then they'll move them. That's what Jesse Rogers put in.
Yes.
Jim Bowden is basically saying, you know what? They could move them. They like the outfield with Roman and left, but...
Do you think they'll be blown away from an offer?
Joe Ryan not catching less and less steam on this market. But again, if it's Jarren Duran and say prospects, and you get Zach Gallen, Josh Naylor,
I think you have to
again,
do it.
you want to go exactly.
You have to do that.
Yes,
That's literally
you
two
need
birds,
a first
one
baseman.
stone.
You need a veteran bat in the
Yes.
lineup, and you need another arm in the rotation.
God.
And that answers that.
It answers that with one trade.
Yeah. And there might be prospects having to throw in, but look at how young this team is. Again, with Wilyer Abreu and Cedane Rafaela ascending, Meyer, Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell ascending. With Alex Bregman, you think he'll be here for 3 years? I think they should extend him and give him a 5-year deal. Like, that is something they have to work.
What you don't do is trade him.
No.
Right?
You cannot sign him.
No.
That be that is what was big for this offseason.
The
When it came to free
calling card.
agency.
Yes.
You know, there's a photo of John Henry smoking a cigar. You can't smoke a cigar one day
That's right.
and then trade him the
You
next.
can't.
That's a guy. And what we see, his value, he's always in the dugout talking to the young guys. He's talking to the vets.
That's
He's
right.
teaching Trevor Story about hitting. And he is adding to this team in that way. He's helping out the pitchers as well. You cannot trade him.
I'll do you one better with Bregman. We haven't really seen the true value yet unless this team makes the postseason.
Bingo.
Then you get
He's
the
a
payoff.
winner. He's a winner. Multiple World Series appearances, let alone rings. Multiple ALCS appearances.
Gosh.
And he shows up in the big moments.
Yeah.
Like that, his pinch hit home run to salvage that series against the Cubs.
Yes.
Steps in, pinch hit, and he goes,
Yes.
this is what I do, man.
Yeah.
Put me in, I'll hit it. I got you.
Him
you want on
Crochet,
base?
him and Crochet saved the season. They saved the season.
They're saving this team. I don't know if they've saved the season, though. The
Well-
front office needs to save the season. The
Well
players
said.
can only do so much.
Well said.
They salvaged that weekend.
Call us, 617-790-0928. We want to hear from you. What should the Sox do at the trade deadline? We want to hear from you. We always talk with you, not at you. Roll with us. We're done here on Nesson, but the party continues on Nesson Nation. Come on over, baby.